Hello everyone, welcome you all in this video tutorial. So in this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the most important cellular organelle or most important component of the cell. Let's start with the introductive part. So we know that nucleus is also called as the control room or heart of the cell, or it is the most important component or most important organelle of the cell. So now understand that what is the cell. So basically the cell is defined as the structural and functional unit for all the cellular organisms, which means that cell is the monomer unit for all the organisms. And there are two types of cells basically. The first one is prokaryotic cell and the another one is eukaryotic cell. And the eukaryotic cell is the more evolved and more modified cell which have well defined nucleus and all the proper cellular organelles, which are membrane bound organelles. So now the cellular organelles are plasma membrane, mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosome, nucleus and many other organisms. So in this video lecture we are going to discuss about the most important cellular organelle, which is called as nucleus of the cell. And in eukaryotic cells, the nucleus well defined membrane bound organelle which is found in the center of the cell. Now let's understand about the nucleus, what is the nucleus and some introductive part about the nucleus. So as we have discussed that nucleus is described as control room of the cell and also called sometimes as heart of the cell, because nucleus is the most important component that have all the controls of the cell. It directs all the cellular activities, like it have the genetic material and it directs the cellular division and many other like transpiration, replication and many other cellular activities which is directed by nucleus, and that's why it is called as the control room of the cell. So basically the nucleus exists in two phases, which are interphase and division phase. We know that cell is divided with the help of the process cell division, and the cell division have different phases like interphase and division phase, which have many phases like S1, S phase, G1 phase, G2 phase and M phase. So the nucleus have two phases which are interphase and division phase. So in the first phase, which is interphase, the nucleus exists in growth phase, and in the case of division phase, the nucleus divides to make two nucleuses so that cell can divide in two parts or each cell get its nucleus and its hereditary material. Here we can see in this diagram, this is the anatomy of animal cell. So this is the structure of animal cell which have different types of cellular organelles which are embedded in the cytoplasm. And at the center of the cell, here we can see the nucleus which is bounded by a nuclear membrane, and in the center of the nucleus we can see the nucleolus, which is also a part of nucleus. So this is the structure and we can see the location of nucleus within the cell. Now let's understand about the discovery of the cell. So the cell was first described by Robert Brown in 1831. And after some time, in 1869, Frederick Misser suggested that DNA is an important component of the nucleus. We know that Frederick Misser discovers the nucleic acids, which are DNA and RNA. And he suggested that the DNA found in the nucleus of the cell. After that, in 1888, scientist named as Valdier observed some rod-like structures in the nucleus and he named them as chromosomes. Now let's understand about the structure of nucleus. So in the interphase nucleus, which is also known as the metabolic nucleus, and it knows as because it has the ability to control all the metabolic activities of the cell. So it is the spherical structure or cylindrical, sometimes branched or lobed structure. So the nucleus of cell having main components which are nuclear envelope, nucleolus, nuclear matrix and chromatids. So in this video we will discuss about all the components in detail. So basically So now in this diagrammatic presentation we can see the anatomy of nucleus. So here we can see the outer surface of the nucleus having nuclear membrane, which is the double membrane bound structure. And in its surface we can see different ribosomes are attached, and there are many pores which are called as nuclear pores. And these nuclear pores are very helpful in the transportation of materials between nucleus and cytoplasm. Now in the inside of nucleus there is a structure which is called as nucleoplasm, and at the center of the nucleus the nucleolus is found. And the nucleus is having chromatins, as we have discussed, and there are two types of chromatin which are found in nucleus, which are heterochromatin and euchromatin, and we will discuss about both the chromatins in our upcoming slides. Now let's understand about the first component of nucleus, which is called as nuclear envelope. So basically the nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane, and the nuclear membrane is a double membranous sheath or a double membranous structure. So between the two nuclear membranes the space is called as perinuclear space, and this space is about 20 nanometer in width. Now the nuclear membranes are 7 to 8 nanometer thick, and the nuclear surface of inner membrane is coated with some filaments and fibers, and these form a fibrous lamina which is called as nuclear cortex. Now the composition of nuclear membrane is similar to the plasma membrane of the structure, which is made of lipid bilayer. And the nuclear pores which are found in the nuclear membrane are aligned with the nucleoplasm channels, and these nuclear pores are helpful in the transportation of materials. Now the nuclear envelope, there are around 20 types of different proteins which are associated with this nuclear envelope. So this is the diagram of nuclear envelope or nuclear pore. In this diagram we can see the detailed structure of nuclear pore. So we know that nuclear envelope having nuclear membrane and its surface have different pores which are called as nuclear pores. And at the margin of these pores, the outer and inner nuclear membrane are continuous. Here we can see the nuclear membranes. It is the inner membrane and it is the outer membrane of the nucleus, and this space is called as perinuclear space. So this nuclear pore are 100 nanometer wide circular channels, and they have some electron dense material, and this electron dense material consists of fibrous and particulate structures, and they are present along the margin of nuclear pore and form annulus. So the nuclear pore have some basket-like structure in it, and this help in the transportation of materials from the cytoplasm to the nucleus. Now let's understand about the second component, which is nuclear matrix. So basically the nucleus is made up of a dense jelly-like mass, and inside the nuclear membrane this mass is called as nuclear matrix. And in the nuclear matrix there are two elements which are nuclear gel, and another component is chromatin fibers which are genetic materials. So basically the nuclear gel is also called as nucleoplasm and nuclear cell sap, which is the transparent ground substance. And the chromatin fibers or the network of chromatin fibers remain suspended in this nuclear gel. So this nuclear gel or nuclear sap is the mixture of different types of proteins, large amount of phosphorus and some nucleic acids like DNA and RNA, and a number of hydrolytic enzymes like ribonuclease and many other enzymes. So the second component is chromatin, which are of two types, which are heterochromatin and euchromatin. The euchromatin is the active type, which is low dense and not very dense, and the heterochromatin is very dense type of chromatin fibers. Now the nuclear matrix is composed of internal laminin and internal matrix proteins. The another component is nucleolus. So the nucleolus is characterized by dense heavy staining interior which is surrounded by light staining external layer. So basically there are two nuclei in the nucleus of diploid cell and one in the gametes. And this size of nucleolus is related with the synthetic activities of the cell. So basically the structure of nucleolus consists of amorphous matrix, fibrillar zone, granular zone and perinuclear chromatin. Now here the fibrillar zone of the nucleolus formed by the fibrils of ribosomal RNA and some ribonucleoproteins, and the granular zone consists of ribonucleoprotein granules which act as a precursors to the ribosomes, because we know that ribosomes are manufactured in the nucleus of the cell. The fourth element is perinuclear chromatin, and they are the chromatin which are formed of chromatin granules, and the different zone of nucleus are related in the following manner, like nuclear DNA, fibrillar zone, granular zone and then cytoplasmic ribosomes. So basically the nucleolus is mainly composed of RNA and proteins, and these proteins are exclusively phosphoproteins and sometimes ribonucleic acid, which is similar to ribosomal RNA. Now let's understand about the functions of nucleus. So as we have discussed in our earlier slides, that nucleus is known as heart of the cell and also called as control room. So it is the controlling center of the cell which controls all the metabolic activities of the cell. The main functions of nucleus are RNA synthesis, biogenesis of ribosomes and many other functions. Like it helps in the initiation of cell division, and it contains the heredity information in the form of DNA and in the form of chromosomes. And that's why it controls all the cell growth and cell division, because we know that for the division of cell it is very necessary for the division of genetic material which completes in the nucleus. And the nucleus also provides as a site for replication, which is the process of duplication of DNA, and the transcription, which is the process of translation of DNA into RNA. Nucleus also play an important role in coordinating many of the cellular activities. So these are some important functions of nucleus. So in this video we have discussed about the nucleus and its structure and functions. Thank you.